Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Enneagram Fox and I am a type 4, just trying to be a happier human. So today I am super comfy in my Daisy Duck sweatshirt. My hair is kind of a mess. I did not put my contacts in. It was that kind of day, but I'm glad I'm here and I'm really excited for this episode. So this is the second episode in a series that I'm calling How Do I Know I'm a Type 4? If you haven't seen the first episode, so it's the last video that I did where I talk about like how I arrived at just the idea that I might be a type 4. And so if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It might help you even if you don't think you're a type 4, but just in your journey to finding your type, it might be helpful. And then today we're gonna focus on something a little different. But first, I did want to tell you about my Enneagram Collective. So basically, for the new year, I'm trying to put together a community of people who want to use the Enneagram as a tool to help them grow. It doesn't matter what type they are, but if you are interested, you can go to my website. It is linked on this page in my bio or the description. It's linked in the description, and you go to my website, you can sign up with your email address, and for $5 a month, you will be able to join a live discussion one time per month where we will basically just talk about something with the Enneagram. There will be like a prompt beforehand, so I won't leave you guys in the dark. So if you're interested, please go ahead and check that out. In today's episode, we are gonna talk about the type 4's struggles with belonging and how I related and still relate to that. First of all, I read in The Road Back to You, which I talked about in the last episode, about type 4's belonging, and I wanted to read an excerpt from the book to you guys now. 4's as children. 4's often say they felt different and misunderstood by their parents, siblings, and peers growing up. My older brothers, and I think this is Cron talking. My older brothers were rough and tumble guys who didn't shy away from the occasional playground brawl, while I was physically small and more introspective. As children, 4's seem to be both approachable and unavailable at the same time. They live with a sense that they are not like other children, so they try to make a place for themselves by capitalizing on their differences. That often backfires, sabotaging their chances of getting what they really want, which is a sense of belonging. The wounding message 4's hear all the time is, there's something different about you. No one understands you, and you'll never belong. These kids feel lonely and misunderstood most of the time. They definitely want people to get them, but the often eccentric ways they use to communicate who they are and how they see the world make them all the more incomprehensible to people. So I feel that very deeply. Like, it makes me want to cry a little bit. I know as a child, I always felt like I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't pretty enough, smart enough. I didn't wear the best clothes. I wasn't the most athletic, which I then learned I absolutely hate sports. I wasn't the most creative. I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the most, you can fill in the blank. And so when I read about this issue with belonging, it hit me really, really hard. In fact, I remember going off to college and I went to an art school, and it was the first time I felt like I belonged, and I was very involved, you could say. Like, I knew everyone I went to college with. I also went to a very small college, but I knew people, I had friends, I didn't feel so different anymore. So I do know that since learning that this is common with type 4's and immediately being able to think of multiple times in my life when I just felt like I didn't belong. I know growing up, I never felt like I fit in. I always I had friends, but they always had better friends than me, and people would literally hang out without me. I was often left out, but then all my friends would say oh, you're so nice, you're so sweet, you're really great. And for a while that was kind of like my identity, right? Like I was the good friend. Like I think I really wanted to present myself as like, I'm, this great friend that you can have if you so choose to have me. Because I did learn that I am primarily a social type 4, but that's a whole other video. However, and I don't remember where I was going with this. So anyways, growing up, I felt like I never like really belonged anywhere. And I wouldn't say I didn't try to be different. I think there were times, especially in high school, when I didn't want to do things just because everyone else did it. It wasn't for the sake of being different. I think it was for the sake of not being afraid to be an individual. And so I will say, I wasn't the person who like did everything because other people did it. Like I didn't dress like my friends. I didn't do my hair like my friends. I didn't try to listen to the same music and watch the same movies as my friends because I didn't like the same things that they did. And I didn't try to differentiate myself. It just kind of happened that way. However, it left me with a profound longing to belong. Because at the end of the day, most of my friends didn't want to watch like old movies with me. Most of my friends did not want to shop at thrift stores with me. And so now as an adult, it's kind of crazy that a lot of people who are my age want to do those things. But growing up, no one wanted to. And so my sense of belonging has definitely changed, but it was definitely very hard growing up. I wanted to share that part of me growing up because this was one of those things that I read about and was like, oh my gosh, like it hit really hard. It was very exposing. I don't remember if I cried, but I probably did because I'm incredibly sensitive. I know that when you learn about a certain type and it hits you really hard, like this sense of belonging really hit me with a type 4. When you read certain things and they hit you that hard, it's most likely going to be your type. I don't know, I'm not going to type you, but there's gonna be something there. I hope this video, even though it's not super long, is very helpful for you guys. Again, if you want to sign up for my Enneagram Collective, these are the kinds of things that we will be talking about and discussing every month. And you are allowed to be as vulnerable as you want to be. You don't have to speak ever. You can literally just sit in. That is totally fine. So I will see you guys very soon for episode 3.